Looking good, dude. This guy, I'm gonna rewind it, don't worry, so we can get the full thing. Boys, this video is about to be crazy. Okay. Making sure I'm good here. Alright. Rewind this, then we're gonna run it.
If you think the snakes, spiders, and sharks are the deadliest things in Australia, just wait until you learn more about today's killer, who only needed one day to take the lives of 35 people and destroy the lives of countless
Wait, what is this about?
others.
Hold on, let me read the title real quick. The boy who grew up to kill 35 people in 24 hours is insane. There's got to be some type of bomb or something like that.
To Twisted Minds. My name is James, and today we're going to be unraveling the explosive story behind Martin
exactly.
Bryant, the most notorious mass murderer in Australia's history, and a man responsible for one of the worst single-person mass shootings the world has ever seen.
Oh, it was a mass shooting?
It's been 25 years since
I never heard about this in
tragic
Australia? No way. Didn't they ban guns or something like that in Australia? Something crazy like that.
event, which has since
Well, I was pulling them
resulted
COD
in
numbers.
the
Bro dropped a
Australian
nuke, dude.
state placing extensive restrictions on gun laws. And a buyback scheme was initiated in which over
Oh shit. Oh, this he just talked about it. Hold on.
State placing extensive restrictions on gun laws. And
What'd
a
I
buyback
say?
scheme was initiated in which over 643,000 firearms were handed back, which cost the government around $350 million.
Oh my goodness.
The country no longer
That's
allows
it?
adults to purchase
Dude,
any
if
type
they
of
did it in America, dude, it would be GG's. We would go bankrupt.
firearm without a license. Martin Bryant was born on the 7th of May, 1967, at the Queen Alexandra Hospital in Hobart, Tasmania. The first child of Maurice and Carleen Bryant. The couple.
Dude, I don't know like anything about like Australia, like where Tasmania is. That's on Australia, right?
Possibly know the horrors that were to happen because of their son. A violent and disruptive child, Martin was severely bullied at school. This led Martin to becoming the bully to children younger than him and weaker than him. This behavior led to some quick punishment, with Martin being suspended from Newtown Primary School in 1977 at just the age of 10 years old. He would soon undergo the first of many psychological assessments. Here it was discovered that Martin liked to kill and torture animals.
What do they call sociopath?
He had an IQ of only 66, making him legally mentally disabled. The following year, in 1978, Martin returned.
Wait, so but what do they call that when he wants to hurt animals? What is that called? Isn't that like a thing though? Isn't that what it called something?
to school with greatly improved behavior, but it wasn't.
Like you're just like a murderer? I don't know.
After
What is
failing
it?
to
It's like
befriend
psychopath?
any of
Is
his
it psycho?
classmates, he returned to bullying
Or the
the
sign of a
younger
killer?
children. When he was just 14 years old, Martin got his first firearm. It was an air rifle that his father had bought for him as a present. The young boy would carelessly fire the weapon from a distance at drivers passing by and shoot down birds. This cruel habit of killing innocent animals earned the boy the nickname Silly Martin, with children saying that he had no sense and no feeling for other living creatures.
Damn.
High school wasn't much better for Martin, as he was transferred to a special education unit at Newtown High School.
The music's really picking
to
up here,
help
dude.
with his
That is wild, though. He's just over here shooting, dude. But they should have taken that thing away as soon as they saw him shoot down this birds out. Like, dude, what? What kind of rifle is this? Is that real guns? Because he was shooting at other drivers and shit passing by. Was it just like a BB gun? Is that all it is?
his learning disabilities. In 1983, after he had left school, the boy was assessed
Air
for
gun.
a
What the
disability
hell does that mean?
pension.
Oh, airsoft
In his
gun?
assessment, the psychologist wrote that the young man could not read nor write, although he was able to garden. His parents' efforts prevented
yeah.
further deterioration, and due to the possibility that their son could be schizophrenic, they faced a bleak future with him. Through this assessment, Martin was awarded the disability pension, although he also worked as a handyman and a gardener. His mental disabilities are possibly one of the main reasons he had such a difficult time connecting with others, and what ultimately led to one of the most horrific mass shootings in the world.
Oh my goodness. This is like, dude, these videos are like TV quality. It's nuts.
For the next 5 years, Martin remained at home with his parents, doing odd handyman jobs locally. In early 1987, when he was 19 years old, Martin finally made his first real connection with another person, a 54-year-old woman called Helene Mary Elizabeth Harvey. She was an heiress to a share in the Tattersall's lottery fortune. Martin came across Miss Harvey whilst looking for new customers for his lawn mowing service. Miss Harvey,
so this guy had motion though. At least he had no. At least he didn't have motion, or had no motion. So he was a handyman. Is that what they consider a handyman? Did they say landscaper too? What is it? They just said handyman? Is that what did he say? Did they say he was mowing lawns? Handyman and a gardener. Does that count as a gardener? Somebody mowing lawns is gardening?
Ended up befriending the unusual man, which led to him becoming a regular visitor to the woman's neglected mansion. Whenever he visited, Martin would help the older woman with chores, such as mowing the lawn and helping to feed her 14 dogs and 40 cats.
Holy shit, 40 cats!
It seemed like things might be looking up for the eccentric man. With the amount of
How do you know if one of them is sick or like needs like attending or something like that? You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna notice if one of the 40 cats are gone.
In the house, and the fact that the two elderly women couldn't clean up after them properly, it was no surprise when a neighbor reported Miss Harvey to the health authorities for the mess that was her home. Upon inspection, medics found that both Miss Harvey and her mother were in need of urgent hospital treatment due to the unsanitary conditions that they had been living in.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately though, it was too late for Hilza Harvey, and she died at the age of 70.
Good night, Snoggy.
With her mother gone, Miss Harvey decided to invite Martin to live with her in the mansion, to which he happily accepted. Though it was never proven, some people believe that the couple's relationship went beyond that of just two friends. The two started spending large amounts of Miss Harvey's money, including buying more than 30 new cars in less than 3 years.
Holy shit, why? I don't understand why people even do this. Like, you're not even gonna drive like all of those cars at a time. Like, bro, really, you only need like 2 or 3 cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, like at most, I feel like, unless you're into collecting and stuff like that, that's cool. But bro, 30 cars, bro, you need like a tenth of that. In my opinion, that's my opinion though.
They also went shopping daily and ate out at restaurants. With all of that money, his first real friend.
Listen, bro, what are you guys really buying with, like, you're gonna have 5? Listen, bro, I feel like if you live in, like, a state that snows, okay, you need, like, a car, like a truck or something, or, like, big SUV, off-roader type of car, in order to, like, for, like, the winter would be, like, optimal, right? Because you're in the winter, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to make sure you have a car that can get you through all the snowstorms or whatnot. It doesn't matter what kind of conditions there are. You're still going wherever you need to go, buddy. Then, like, maybe, like, in the summer when it's nicer, you have, like, another car, like a sedan or, like, you know what I mean? Something that can get you to point A to point B, buddy. I don't know. Honestly, you probably need 2. You can probably still use the truck for that, too. But I don't know if you want better. I don't know. Spend less money on gas, I guess. But then you also have, like, a nice sports car or something you bring out on the weekends to pull the ladies out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see what this is. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying. Holy shit. I don't know. Bad.
And a chance to be normal, you might think that Martin would finally start to be better. But you'd be wrong. At around the same time that the future killer moved in with the lottery heiress, he was reassessed for his pension disability, and the outcome was even worse than before. The psychiatrist attached a note to his assessment, which read, "Father protects him from any occasion which might upset him as he continually threatens violence. Martin tells me he would like to go around shooting people. It would be unsafe to allow Martin out of his parents' control." You would think that with such a shocking and disturbing evaluation, that Martin would be taken to a mental health facility to be monitored. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case, and so, although he didn't live with his parents anymore, they were always close by to keep an eye on him.
Oh
in
my
1991,
goodness.
Miss Harvey decided to buy a 29-hectare farm called Torresville in the small township of Copping.
So the entire time they were doing all this
Martin
shit, though, like, he's really just been, like, still, like, the same violent kid. Even though he thought, like, things were getting better, like, he started mowing lawns, bro. This guy's a villain. This entire time. That entire time, like, he's been violent, and now his parents are the only things that are holding him back. Like, that's it. Yeah, he's ready. It's something that you got to be ready for him to unleash. his wrath.
Moved into the new house together, to the displeasure of their neighbors, who disapproved of their relationship. Not only did they not like the relationship, but all of the locals were very wary of this new and unusual man. Late at night, he would roam around the neighborhood, firing his air rifle at dogs when they barked at him. He would also fire it at tourists as they stopped to buy apples at a stall on the highway. Not signs of a mentally stable man. It was no wonder why people tried to avoid him at all costs, despite his efforts at befriending them. On the 20th of October, 1992, Miss Harvey had passed away. Although the case is still a bit dubious as to how her death actually occurred, the story goes that she and Martin were traveling in the car together with Miss Harvey's 2 dogs when it suddenly veered onto the wrong side of the road and hit an oncoming car head on.
He definitely jerked that shit and like killed her. Let's see what happens if we do this. Like, dude, he definitely just like took the wheel and shifted it.
Harvey and her 2 dogs were instantly killed, and Martin suffered severe neck and back injuries. Police investigated his potential role in the incident, as he had been known to lunge for the steering wheel whilst the car was moving. He had
Case closed. Give him life. Case closed. What?
Harvey to crash 3 times already by doing this. Miss Harvey had been so fearful of Martin that she had even confided in her neighbors that he was the reason why she couldn't drive faster than 37 miles per hour. Although police did investigate him, Martin told them it was the dogs roaming around freely which caused the crash, and he was subsequently no longer seen as a suspect. After her death, Martin...
No way. Dude, that guy has to be... I don't know. He's got to be able to sell you a mechanical pencil or some shit, bro. You know he's going to... Why did he just go into sales? No way he convinced cops that the reason why...
Hello, dear Patty.
Yo, what's going on, Sink? What's going on, brother? The only reason why the only reason why they don't think it's him is because the only reason why the car crashed... Holy shit, I'm losing my train of thought. The only reason why the car crashed is because the dogs were roaming around that sat with them in the car instead of him, that he's known for jerking the wheel. All the other 3 times that she crashed before was because of the dogs ever. That is nuts. This guy's nasty. Make him a car salesman or some shit. Bro, just about Elden Ring is so fucking good, bro. I wanted to try Elden Rings. It looks so gas.
Bro, I just bought
Martin
Elden Ring. It's so
the
fucking
sole
good.
beneficiary
It looks gas.
of Miss Harvey's will and came into possession of assets totaling more than $550,000. However, because of Martin's low IQ, he wasn't able to look after his own finances, and so his mother applied for and was granted a guardianship order to place Martin's assets under the management of public trustees, which ended up being his father.
Huh?
But the tragedy didn't stop there. After Miss Harvey's death, Martin went back to live with his mother, whilst his father looked after the farm that his son had inherited. It was around this time that his father, Maurice Byron, tried to buy a small bed and breakfast near Port Arthur. However, before he could get his finances in order, the building was bought by another couple, David and Nolene Martin. Martin tried to buy the business off of the couple, but they refused. In the months that followed, his father, Maurice Byron, fell into a deep depression, which he often blamed Martin for. And on the 16th of August, 1993...
Wait, I was born in the 16th of August, not 1993 though.
Divers found his body in the lake of the property with a diving weight belt around his neck. This would later prove to be one of the big things that pushed Martin over the edge.
Try it, you have it? I have Elden Ring? Why is there nobody using four people in chat? I don't know. I don't know what happened to everybody. Yo, I think Slush is here, but it's getting kind of late. That's why, I think.
The death was ruled as a suicide, although there are those who believe that Martin actually killed his father so that he was able to access his money, which his father had financial guardianship over.
I want to be surprised with this motherfucker.
In the aftermath of his father's death, Martin inherited his $550,000, which Miss Harvey had left for him, as well as $250,000 from his father. Now that he was alone, Martin's unusual and eccentric personality started showing through more and more. He was often seen
Hold on, pause the video. Bro doesn't even know that it's Elden Ring? Wait, I have Elden Ring? Did somebody gift it to me? Wait, no way. Hold on. Don't even joke with me, bro. You're telling me somebody got me Elden Ring? Because I know I definitely don't have that game. I know I definitely do not have that game. You don't know you have Elden Ring? Bro, I swear I do not have Elden Ring. I definitely do not have that. Nah, I don't have it. I can see they have the game? That's not me, bro. That's not me. That's not me. Nah, no way. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. Bro, I don't see it in my games.
A gray linen suit, a cravat, lizard skin shoes, and a Panama hat, and would try to talk to random strangers, telling them that he had a well-paying career. As his mental health declined and his need for companionship grew, Martin would often go on multiple trips overseas just so that he could talk to people on the plane. Forced
yeah,
to
I'm
be
on my
polite,
wish list.
people would
Yeah,
have to talk to him. However, they still felt that he was incredibly creepy. But this was not enough to satisfy his dire need for friends, and his mental health got even worse. In late 1995, Martin became suicidal after deciding that he had had enough. I just felt more people were against me. When I tried to be friendly toward them, they just walked away, he said in an interview. In his loneliness, Martin quickly turned to alcohol, and in the 6 months prior to the Port Arthur massacre, his consumption increased exponentially. According to Martin, he first thought of the plan for Port Arthur 4 to 12 weeks before it took place, and based it off the Dunblane massacre, which had happened in Scotland, UK, only 1 month prior to Martin's attack. At some point during the years leading up to the horrendous attack, Martin had managed to legally buy himself an AR-10 semi-automatic rifle,
goodness.
an AR-15 rifle, an L1A1 self-loading battle rifle, and a USAS.
No, we got the USAS, bro. Dude, what the hell? This guy's like straight out of Modern Warfare. What the hell was that? That's awesome. That's not awesome, obviously, but that is insane.
12 automatic shotgun. He also visited the Port Arthur historic site multiple times in the months leading up to the tragic event and bought a large sports bag, which he said needed to be strong enough to hold large amounts of ammunition. It seemed that Martin was determined to go through with his plan.
Oh shit. Another transition. Port Arthur.
On the 28th of April, 1996, Martin put his plan into action. He was unusually awoken at 6 a.m. by his alarm clock. During interviews after the massacre, his girlfriend of the time and his remaining family said that it was strange, as he had never used the alarm clock before. At around 9:45 a.m.,
he was planning
after
this
his
shit.
girlfriend had left for the day, Martin left his home and headed toward Port Arthur, along with all of his weapons and his bag full of ammo. By 11:45 a.m., he had arrived at the Seascape Bed and Breakfast, the very one that his father had been unable to buy. Martin apparently believed that the owners, the Martins, had deliberately bought the property to hurt his family and blamed them for his father's depression, which ultimately
bro's
led
the
to his
biggest
death.
villain.
An act he decided that they would pay for with their lives. Martin fatally shot the Martins in the guest room of their house before making his way to Port Arthur. They were the first two victims of his devastating massacre. Once at Port Arthur, Martin went into the Broad Arrow Cafe, carrying his large blue sports bag. He ordered a meal and made small talk with the tourists in the small shop, acting as if he was just another visitor on a day out. Unfortunately, his plans were
So the only time he was normal when he was trying to act normal. That's a dangerous motherfucker. Yeah, he's just talking. Yeah, like his tourist, like, what's going on here? Bro can act so normal when he needs to, but he doesn't choose to, motherfucker. That's so crazy.
Or sinister. After finishing his meal, Martin moved toward the back of the cafe, which had around 60 to 70 guests in it at the time, and set up a video camera on an empty table. He then took out his AR-15 semi-automatic rifle and started firing into the crowd of innocent people. Within only 15 seconds, the cold-blooded killer had fired 17 shots, killing 12 people and injuring another 10. Martin then walked toward the gift shop, where people had tried to hide, and fired 12 more times, killing another 8 people and wounding 2 more.
Oh my goodness. That's gotta be so horrific.
Outside of the cafe, a group of people had gathered, believing the gunshots to be part of a reenactment play. Martin took this opportunity to refill his ammo and leave the cafe.
Oh
only to
my
callously
goodness.
shoot into the crowd in the car park.
There's somebody going crazy shooting people here. There he is. He's over there. I can't believe it.
Martin then got into his car and drove
Sound like an
away,
American.
leaving
Can't
4
believe
more
it.
people dead and 6 more injured. Only 300 meters down the road, 36-year-old Nanette Meekark was
Oh,
walking with her
nah.
2 daughters, 6-year-old Alana Meekark and 3-year-old Madeline Meekark. Martin saw the family as he drove and pulled over. Not knowing what had just happened down the port, Nanette had no idea how
Oh
dangerous
my
the man
goodness.
was. In the blink of an eye, Martin shot and killed Nanette and Madeline, who she was carrying in her arms. Alana tried to
What
run
the
away,
fuck?
however, in an act of true heartlessness, Martin chased after her and killed her with a single shot. Continuing with his rampage, Martin stole a gold BMW after killing
Oh
all
my
4 of
goodness,
his
where are the
occupants.
cops?
He then drove a short distance down the road and pulled up alongside a white Toyota with a couple inside. He took out one of his weapons and ordered the male occupant of the car to get into the boot of the BMW, before then shooting and killing the female driver.
Oh my
At around
goodness.
2:10 in the afternoon, the mass murderer returned to the Seascape guest house, set the stolen car on fire, and took his hostage inside, where the bodies of the Martins still lay. During this time, 2 police officers had been called about the roadside
Yo.
murders. Tried to approach Martin, however, he opened fired on them, causing them to hide in a ditch and become pinned down. It wasn't
One
until
guy?
around 9 p.m. that a special operations group of the Tasmania police team arrived on the scene. They rescued the pinned down officers, and for the next 18 hours, a tense standoff between Martin and the police took place. At first, the police tried to negotiate with the killer, but it was cut short when the battery on Martin's phone ran out. His only demand
shit.
had been that he
Bro,
wanted to
this
be
is-
transported.
This is wild. I'm sorry. That is wild. Dude, they were negotiating for that long. Bro's phone died. It doesn't care and it fucking unleashes on these motherfuckers. Like, that is crazy.
To an airport in an army helicopter. During negotiations, Martin ended up killing his hostage, bringing the total number of people killed in his monstrous rampage
Oh my
to 35,
goodness.
whilst a further 23 were injured. The next morning, in a last-ditch attempt to escape, Martin set fire to the guest house and tried to get away amidst the confusion. This didn't work, and instead, the killer was captured and taken to Royal Hobart Hospital to have his burns treated, which he received in the fire. He was kept under heavy guard the entire time. After his arrest, Martin was held in custody without the chance of bail. Whilst he was awaiting trial, he was examined by court-appointed psychiatrist Ian Sale, who believed that Martin possibly suffered from a mixture of conduct disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity, and Asperger's syndrome. Not that that excused the horror that he had just committed. Eventually, Martin was judged fit to stand trial, which happened on the 7th of November, 1996.
Why so
Initially,
long
the mass
after,
murderer
though?
pleaded not guilty.
That's half a
but
year.
His court-appointed lawyer, John Avery, later convinced him to change his mind and plead guilty to all charges. 2 weeks later, Martin was given 35 consecutive life sentences, one for each victim killed in his attack. He was also given an additional 1,652 years in prison for attempted murder and grievous physical harm to numerous people.
Oh
the
my
sentence was
goodness,
issued
good.
with no chance of parole, the first of its kind. So it's safe to say that he's never getting out. Throughout his imprisonment, the once formidable killer attempted to take his own life on 8 separate occasions. The latest being in 2007, when he tried to slit his own throat with a razor blade, forcing him to be briefly hospitalized before being returned to prison. In recent exclusive interviews, Martin has been documented to have become severely overweight as he refused to join in on exercise in the prison courtyard. He has also
What the
been noted
fuck?
to have declined even more mentally, to the point where he is willing to trade sexual favors for chocolate. As of 2021, the unremorseful mass murderer is being housed in the maximum security Risdon prison. Because of the weapons that Martin used in the massacre, along with the fact that he was able to legally and easily purchase the guns despite his history of violence, the Australian government decided that some serious reforms were needed in terms of their gun laws. The legal
True.
ownership
Yeah,
and
no
use
shit.
of self-loading rifles, self-loading shotguns, and pump-action shotguns were either banned or heavily restricted. And a buyback scheme was initiated in which
So a
over
violent motherfucker
600
could buy USAS, bro? Yeah, that's priority straight though. That's crazy that he got a gun though. That's crazy. He got 4 guns, bro. 4, like, what was it? 3 rifles and a shotgun. Those photos of the guns are in DM.
and 43,000 firearms, $150 million. Since the Port Arthur massacre, there have been many conspiracy theories behind what actually happened that day. Some people believe that it was a setup by the Australian government so that they could enact stricter gun laws, as there had been a number of mass shootings before the Port Arthur one.
You think they're
took
gonna
place.
set up?
Others believe that
Damn.
Martin wasn't actually the shooter, as witness descriptions didn't match his appearance. These are just some of the theories that people have come up with. However, none have been proven to be true. Thanks for tuning in to Twisted Minds.
It was
the
him.
case of Martin
You know,
Bryant.
this guy that's been violent his entire life's been doing that, bro, has been known. Maybe they made that shit up, though. Maybe they made that story up. Who knows? DMs and see what this is. Alright, let's see. These are pictures of the guns? Damn. Mini Uzi? Damn, what the hell? That's the picture of all the guns that they brought back? They had to buy all these guns back? Give me one of them, please. Alright. Guys. With that being said, I'm probably